Hey guys, we want to give you a quick real talk video about our 1,000 Trail stay in Orlando. We're actually right now in Ohio, so we're getting to this a little bit late, but we still wanted to go over all this information. The 1,000 Trail setup is a unique membership style camping. So give them a background on what 1,000 Trails is.
1,000 Trails is pretty much like a membership program where you join, you pay a certain fee, and you get to camp for free at any of their campsites across the US or in specific zones. We got a free 1-year camping pass with the purchase of our Grand Design, and we chose the Southeast because we were in Florida and we wanted to check out the campgrounds around there.
All right guys, so I'm gonna go ahead and put these pork chops on. Let's check out what's available around Orlando. This is what we did in the immediate area of the 1,000 Trails campground in Orlando while we were there for 5 days, and we'll pick back up at the end of the video and let you know if we think it was actually worth it or if we would pay for this membership moving forward.
Day 3 in Orlando, and we're finally venturing out of the RV park. We've been stuck inside the past few days because it was supposed to rain, so we just got a lot of work done. We did have a little bit of drama in the RV park on our first day when we got there.
Yeah, that was really scary. We saw a bunch of fire trucks going by, and I just assumed it was something medically related, and finally I saw people gathering outside of our trailer. And I went outside, and sure enough, a big Class A Allegro bus was burning. I mean, the whole thing was up in flames. So the entire
really
inside
scary.
burned. It's completely totaled.
I walked outside. Charlie texted me from outside saying there was a trailer on fire, and as soon as I walked out there were explosions. The propane tank had exploded, I guess, and the firemen were already in there. So that's a scary situation. It's really sad for whoever owned it, but also just keeps you like thinking, kind of gets you paranoid. We've been really paranoid about our propane tanks and that sort of thing. I don't know, just something to think about. But anyways, we're heading out today. I think we're going to go check out the town of Celebration. I guess it's a town or like community, but it's supposed to be free. You can just like walk around, shops and restaurants and a big lake.
You know I love free.
Yes, he loves free. So we'll see what that's all about. There's also Old Town, which we've never been to, and they have like amusement park rides and again, like shops and restaurants and things like that. So I don't know, we do have a backup plan in case it rains. We are supposed to get rain again this afternoon, but we'll see what happens. What do you think of Celebration?
It's pretty nice. I got my bag of chicharrones, and I'm happy.
So we ended up coming to Disney Springs, formerly known as Downtown Disney. We're just kind of strolling around, but the rain is starting and the wind is picking up, so I don't think we'll last too long. We might just try to find a place to grab a coffee or something.
This place is packed.
Yeah, it is really busy. We tried to go to that Old Town. There was absolutely nothing going on, so I think maybe it's just more of a night or a weekend thing. I'm not sure. Alright, so now that you've kind of seen what's around Orlando, let's talk about the actual campground that we stayed at. So when we first pulled in, we were kind of like blown away. We were like, holy crap, where are we staying? It was like a massive resort, and it was beautiful. They had fountains going, and they kind of usher you in. The staff gives you a full rundown of the campground and all the amenities, which there are a ton of. And then they kind of let you go, and you get to pick your own site. So you don't get to reserve the site ahead of time. You just go in and drive around, and you can find an empty site and stay where you like, which is kind of nice. But when we started driving in and looking around, we were kind of like, oh, okay, so this isn't really what we expected. It was a lot of like full-time people living there, a lot of park models.
Park models,
yeah. More like a concrete jungle, not very like woodsy and nature.
It doesn't feel like a state campground. Like the state campgrounds we really like, they're spread out. You feel like you have plenty of room. Now, to back up what you said, like this particular Thousand Trails let us go pick our campground, but the one we stayed at in Winston-Salem was a little bit different, and now it was a little bit more of a woodsy vibe, and they escorted you to your spot. You just have to pick it on the map. But even that one was still, like she said, a lot of full-timers, a lot of park models, and it just attracts a different crowd compared to, say, a state campground. I'm not to say that's a bad thing. It's just
depends on which kind of camping you want. Like we enjoy more like private spaces, more like woodsy, kind of like where we're at right now, like a little bit more naturey. But some people really enjoy like the full amenities, full hookups, the pool, the clubhouse, you know, tennis courts and all this stuff. So it really depends on what you're looking for.
I'll say though, if you're going to use the membership, if you think you're going to go to a spot and stay there for, I don't know, a week or even 2 weeks, definitely the 1-year membership makes sense because it will pay for itself. You'll stay at places at like say $30 a night, or this particular campground is what, $40 a night. So if you're going to stay there for 2 weeks, for example, then, and there is one available in that zone, then yes, it would pay for itself. So tell them about that too, in terms of how, now that we've been pitched about the, let me tell you about your membership.
Yeah. A lot of people that get these passes from buying a travel trailer and, you know, don't really know much about it. So we're like, okay, well, let's go find out more. You know, maybe there's something more that we're missing. Turns out it was just a huge pitch to sell this like lifelong membership, which is upwards of like $8,000.
$8,000, yeah.
And I'm not saying it's not a great deal for somebody that's doing this for, you know, maybe the rest of their life after they're retired or something, and they plan on doing this for a long time. It could be worth it, and you do have equity in it. But it just reminded me of like a timeshare type thing where it was just a huge sales pitch.
Yeah, it was kind of annoying too, because it's I don't want to say it's high pressure, but it's one of those things that they follow up with you. Are you interested? You know, what can we do to get you interested in this? And it was like, they told us it was an idea to explain our membership so we get more out of our membership, but it was, like she said, it's just a sales pitch. So the campground overall, I'll be splicing in the video along the way. I probably already have, but at this point, the campground itself was nice. If you're going to need to go to Orlando for an extended period of time, it's a good place to base yourself from.
Sure. It's pretty close to like all the amusement parks to Disney and that.
Yeah, it's very accessible to the surrounding area. So that side of it, you know, would we spend the $8,000 on it? Probably not, because we don't know how long we're going to be doing this. But I think the 1-year membership was like $600 or $700, something like that.
That covers all the zones, I believe.
I don't know. I think you have to add each zone. I don't know. There's so many different tiers of this. That's what makes it kind of confusing and complicated. You guys can look that out, look it up yourself on the Thousand Trails websites. But for us, we might do the 1-year membership and then use the zones that we're going to be going to. I just can't see spending $8,000 when we don't know how long we're going to do this. For the younger generation, for the older generation that's retired, yeah, it might make sense if you want to come to Florida and you're a snowbird and you want to come to Florida for a month at a time. I would say, yeah, it definitely makes sense. So anyways, we just want to give you an idea of what Thousand Trails is all about, what it looks like, what we thought. Now you can see what the campground looks like. You can see what's available around the particular campground in Orlando, and you guys can decide for yourself. Thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and we'll be back with more videos next time. TheTradingTravelers.com. We're out.